What is up and welcome to the midweek Marvel Contest of Champions news show. With a week building to a live stream, what the heck is going on in this game? The answer is not a lot, unless a dev diary might drop this week or potential compensation. More on that in the show. So what we're kicking off the show with is a reminder about the live stream on Friday. Hopefully there's going to be some surprises and unfortunately paused videos. Like the screen grab that was done featuring me where I'm kind of like this on Reddit, which I saw like a moment ago before kind of starting to record this video. It happens, people. You know, pause the screen now as I'm going. See, anything could happen. Absolutely anything can happen when you pause a screen. Reference is bloody well there. Thanks. Thanks. You could have caught my better side on the moment where I might have been talking about stuff. New update. Hopefully he's going to see, I'm repeating myself, but you know what I mean? Like there's going to be that whole saga about what's the Bitten thing all about, which is a place in Southampton, by the way, in the UK. Shout out to the Bitten Massive. I know. I was about to say some landmarks in Bitten, but no. The She-Hulk side of things. What's this going to be with the zombie She-Hulk? Probably nothing. Art direction, maybe there. Zombie element, could be. More on that, hopefully, by the end of the week. Stop saying hopefully, Richard. Stop it. So whilst Kabam aren't saying much and addressing some of the problems, let's kind of bring some community sentiment and what you're all talking about at the moment, or some of the things that are being talked about. One thing is the excitement around new champions being dead. Now, they are actually technically dead. So shout out to Ketchalane, who points out, I mean, Dracula and Frankencastle are technically dead, per se. But yes, I do see the sentiment around these new champions. And if you get hyped on a certain champion, like what's the future of them? Like, are they still going to be in the same type of damage dealing elements, defensive? Well, let's face it, if they're an absolute killer on defense, they're going to be untouched because Kabam want you to get the attackers, which are then going to be nerfed into oblivion to take on said defenders. No, that's a bit of a out there joke, but I get where people are coming from with being hyped around a certain champion. There's some cool things coming out. A lot of the time, though, a lot of new champions are copy paste. Some slight differences, like they have this slow debuff, where it's like man, some certain champions don't really have the slow debuff. I'm interested in Dracula, but then I'm worried about Dracula. Although in that footage, it's not really much to gather what is that champion's high damage elements. Is it debuff based damage? Because I didn't necessarily see it with crits. Frankencastle, however, nice crits to the champion. Interesting ramp, looks fun. But is that going to be a too OP champion? And are some things within that deep dive that we'll likely see on Saturday and Sunday going to be completely different to the point of, well, that may be changed at release, or that may be changed in 6 months? Now, MCOC over the years has had a very hit and miss time with champions. Nowadays, they have to be hitting at least a decent amount of damage or be a substantial enough defender. I mean, do you remember what happened in 2021? In January, we had Jubilee, Strife, Psycho Man, Super Skrull, Mangog, Odin, Jabari Panther, and Silver Centurion, until we could get to Shang-Chi, which was one of the better champions of 2021, where we had to go 5 months deep in order to get something that was substantial. Nothing against the champions previously. And of course, champions would have to be buffed and I think Odin was, like, a lot of players wanted Odin to be buffed a lot more, including myself. So at that time, there was a similar kind of disconnect around hype for champions, but also some of the champions I've just listed from that year weren't exactly some of the ass-kicking champions that we get nowadays. Either way, where are you up to when it comes to champion, like, excitement around some of the new ones? I'm pretty excited each and every month to see what Kabam are putting out, but I do understand where players come from when it comes to the fear of ranking up a champion early doors to the champion's release if you're going out to get some of the new champions, but also the 6-month window up until the point of the rebalance, which, let's face it, if there's substantial changes in a negative way, it does really affect input of investment of rank up materials. Just quickly, nothing really to add more except for I can say to the players in this thread and another one, game quality around AI, but also inputs just seems to be something that's just, not great at the moment. Of course, optimization around a broad coverage of devices is difficult for any kind of games developer, and I think Kabam sometimes shoot themselves in their own foot by allowing their game to be played on a multitude of devices, especially mobile devices, because of, look, again, compatibility and performance around compatibility, but also the general state of the game, because any new device that runs this game seems to run into problems. But the AI is still a problem at the moment, and I don't know when 2.0 is coming around, but it was interesting to read, this thread right here, which I'll put a link to in the description, as well as many others, where they're just seeing the just continued frustration around performance. And yeah, AI 2.0 is going to be enough at this point. Plus 2025 taught me anything, it'll be used to make things worse for players. I think there's a lot of concern, and that's the thing that we need to kind of like figure out. Is Kabam actually going to be able to, number one, deliver it, but number two, how good is it going to be, and is it going to be completely different? Like, will we get to road test it and kind of give our feedback as players, or is it something Kabam's just going to throw out to us? So similar to that particular vein, inputs in game, yeah, I'm getting continued issues now. Kabam may say you're running a device that's 4 years old. And that's true. This particular device, the iPad 2021 that I'm operating on, is not great. And I have to make decisions within the next 12 months if I'm going to get a new one, or am I going to get a fight stick and play via PC? I still need to make those decisions, but there's a difference between going, hey, do I want to spend £100 on a fight stick and also got to get a new phone? But do I want to spend, £100 one way for a decent fight stick, or do I want to spend £1,000 on a decent device? And it's like, no, I'm not. I'm kind of good with that decision, like holding back at this moment in time. But it is something I'm going to have to take a lot more seriously, as devices are not functioning well for me. And same thing with other players. It's not just me, it's you as well. We're all experiencing issues with this stuff and making decisions of, do I upgrade my phone and have a heftier contract? Do I buy a device straight out? Do I buy a last gen device? Like, you're making the same decisions as I am. So we're all in the same boat with this. But performance around that, for all devices and also other games as well. When you play other games on mobile, are you finding you getting better inputs? And look, a lot of people are experiencing stuff. But also, those two problems of two threads merging together, because if an AI or defender is moving faster than it should be, and the response time is kind of lower, then of course those two things don't really help out. If the AI was slower, your reaction time would be better from input to then receiving. For me, I'm trying to press things like special attack or striker, and none of those are working at times. Not all the time, at times. And that ain't good. It's not good for Battlegrounds, it's not good for Alliance Wars, it's costly, and that's a problem. It's just really, really bad in game. But I think for me, because I'm now at a point of the previous thread and this thread, well, I just don't know what Kabam are able to kind of get sorted. The stutter and skip is definitely there. Dex timing seems seemingly changes mid-fight. Yep, inputs drop, dashes reverse. They don't know how to make it work reliably for everyone, have more or less moved on, sort of, but then there's a lot of things that Kabam are going to deal with. But I think this point here, a lot of players like myself, have played for a long time, and for the amount of times I've constantly said, like, and showcased issues and provided issues to Kabam in the past, you kind of make your peace with it and go, this might be the game. This is it. I will come back to that word that I kept repeating at the start of this video, hope, because I do still hope. In life and existence, you try and hope that things get better. Sometimes they don't, and you have to walk away. And it's knowing when to walk away. A lot of us are 10 years deep with playing this game, covering this game on YouTube and stuff, and you kind of go, right, I guess we're still invested, and when will Kabam get this sorted? And that is what I want to find answers to. Will Kabam crash? Give us some indications soon. When he does the dev diary, when Kabam address some stuff, and of course for when you do Summoners Fest, some of you going out for Summoners Fest, will Kabam actually say, this is where we're up to in the roadmap of things, of when we can deliver AI 2.0 and when we can see some improvements for players in game in the fundamentals fighting in the game. That's one thing. There's many others, but fighting is kind of like this game. This is the game. It's a fighting game. All the stuff about kind of getting extra starage, ranks, getting other materials, prestige bumps, that's all well and good. But this is a fighting game. And the fight elements don't work as they should do in a fighting game. So where we're going to end the show today is on this particular thread right here. And there's some good points from either side, both Kabam and as well from players kind of responding to this. So this was a thread by SBK. He said, anyone from Kabam, I mean, anyone going to engage with the community, or you done with what that now? I just want to see if it's worth our time to keep checking for engagement. Do you guys check the forums, or are you all just on your own? Are we on our own? There's some, some stuff that I think is really important here. So I think what I would like to see, and I think what SBK and a lot of other players want to see, is stuff like this. So in that particular thread previously, we mentioned about AI. Now imagine if a member of Kabam dropped in and said, hey, by the way, just that you know, AI 2.0 is still in the works, and we're looking to get it. It's just in the works, because Kabam can't. They won't say, "Oh, we're looking to get it done by the end of the year." We'll be like, "Oh, we might have an update for you in the next month with the Summoners Fest," something like that. Or Crashed is preparing a dev diary that is going to give some updates to this particular process. Something like that. I think that's what players want to see a bit more of. And that is where I think we're losing out that kind of direct interaction from Kabam. It's Karate Mike and Pinwheel. I don't know if they have anyone else. I mean, Dave's a senior, but anything that community managers do is like they are just funneling info to the game team, who make the decisions on what's happening with the game. There are some differences though. I think with Karate Mike helps out with some like things that need to be done, like here, and some other player focused game updates I can reveal soon. So maybe that's going to be beneficial to the community, but also giving that feedback loop to Kabam as a obviously player, and also does the deep dives. So there's a lot of stuff when it comes to community manager that may be multifaceted. It's part of my job within the film and TV industry. Like my job is very much community management, but it's not the main part of my job. It's a small part of a kind of like a bigger job that I do. But I've got to do the same thing. I've got to really relay information to one, like a boss above, and then that gets relayed to another boss, and it's like then before any actions can actually be done on things. Or if I need resource for something, I'm like, hey, I need this resource in order to do this or do this, and then of course that's how it goes with reporting. You work, so you know how the score is. Also, just quickly, because I did forget to mention, thus far the video I had to do is some post edit, that connectivity compensation package to try and have this out this week, and whatever that means. I don't think it makes it sound like it's not the cumulative, but it could be the cumulative, the big compensation package that we're looking to get. Amongst other things, an answer on what's happening with Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, etc. Anyway, back to the video. But I tell you what, like if there was ever a job that I could make for myself for Kabam, it would be to monitor community sentiment more thoroughly, but also I'd kind of do it with the MCNs, but be like a real kind of relay for stuff and relay information a lot more. So therefore people can streamline what they're doing work-wise. I mean, look, it's even my second name has even been mentioned there. And I literally do that. I'm manning the message board quite literally with stuff. So I read a lot more kind of like threads and things like that, so much more. I can just like gather like as much information. But anyway, like, will they be answering on stuff in the live stream on Friday about this? I don't know. It's highly doubtful, but I feel there could be something there that Kabam may be like, do you know what? Might be best to have. I mean, if you remember, Karate Mike actually did an address towards stuff a little while ago. So there could be something there with all kind of the spirit of transparency. Or maybe Crashed might come onto the live stream again to give some more kind of information and clarity to situations. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens at the end of this week. Thank you very much for watching the show. What are your thoughts on some of the things mentioned? I would love to see more kind of those small little engagements around what's happening with stuff in the game, what we've got to look forward to. That is where I think things will be really good or better for the game in general. That's been the show for today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.